Well, I recorded all of my gameplay with my stream camera, so I figured people wanted a camera for my videos anyway, so I figured why not? Parasaur Jess came to the game, and this is not a crazy topic. It's not like she's amazing or oh my god, she's gonna be using all of your loadouts. This is no Crossbones Barrett, but I do have some good news. You'll note that I am not putting an F emoji in the thumbnail like I did with Jurassic Ken. She actually works on everything. I made a list. Look at this. Look at this. She works on all of these things. Now, she doesn't work on drones, which I've explained before. Somebody, oh, a lot of comments, a lot of comments. Let me show you what an ability is. I don't even know how to get there, actually. Okay, so you go to the hero loadout. You go to see all stats. Under abilities, or at least it used to, where's the ability damage? Come on, here we go. Yeah, modifier on ability and gadget damage done. So, ability damage classes gadget damage. Now, I wouldn't expect her to heal you when you throw a drone up in the air, but based on the descriptions within the game, it's not outside of the realm of possibility. But no, it doesn't work. I didn't test the Adrenaline Rush because I figured, well, she heals you when an ability's cast, and that already... I didn't test it, okay? Anti-material charge doesn't work, and that kind of comments on a lot of things. So when you punch with an Outlander, it doesn't function. It does not heal you. And that's kind of the same thing, because heroes have different abilities. Just like when you kill something with a melee, with a ninja, you turn into Shadow Stance. I can actually show these things. If we go to Overtaker here, you can see Mantis Leap. Every time you double jump, it doesn't heal you. That's just not how it works. And when a Constructor, every time you put down your base, that doesn't work. Those are hero perks. Those are hero abilities. I don't know how to class it. There's so many terms in this video, but... his Kunai Storm heals you, Dragon Slash heals you, Smoke Bomb heals you, but I do want to make a special note about Smoke Bomb, and this isn't like the most important thing to note. I don't know why I'm bringing this up instead of anything else, but Alchemist Sarah exists, and if you are using a Smoke Bomb loadout, or the thing that's going to be predominantly healing you is your Smoke Bombs, then if you have Alchemist Sarah from the event, I wouldn't recommend a voucher on her, it's not that big of a deal. Her healing Smoke Bomb already provides a perk that heals you, and that kind of ties into another topic that's important to mention. If you're considering using Overtaker Jess, if you're trying to use Parasaur Jess, oh my goodness, I just ate cereal before recording this, and I'm just gonna... yeah, so anyway, if you're trying to use Parasaur Jess, you gotta think about what's your healing method, and is this going to help? This is a conventional AR loadout. This is what I use pretty consistently. Going coconuts is how I heal with this loadout. I can't really think of any way that grenades, shockwave, or miniguns are going to be activated enough with this loadout for it to make any difference to have her in my support. So in this case, coconuts just reign supreme. Now these are already a pretty broken item. It's unfair for me to even compare them, except that it's not. Because when you're asking me to give up one of my 5 support slots to this hero, it needs to be the best of my options. It needs to be the best option, and coconuts fills that slot for me in this case. But with something like my ninja loadout for my Storm King fights here, this is something where a lot of people might consider using her. I use Saurian Might and Saurian Hide. Saurian Might is really not adding a ton of damage. I mean, maybe like 90 or like 30,000 extra damage per shot of my Storm King's Wrath, which is already critting in the millions, so he's not making a massive difference. I could just go ahead, swap him out, and use our fancy new Outlander girl and make it so that every time I trigger my kunai, or my throwing stars, or my smoke bomb, it'll heal me. 7.2% is a beautiful amount in my brain because it's not a lot. It's not going to save your life by activating an ability, but if you're kind of passively using throwing stars, using kunai every 15 seconds like you kind of should be when you're breaking the crystals and fighting the mini-bosses during that fight, or throwing down the smoke bomb whenever you can, you'll note that in the Storm King fight, where you'll note that my build already has no healing methods other than just me using campfires in the fight, this is going to just passively sort of up my health, assuming that I'm not really taking much damage. Now, not taking damage is a tall order in the Storm King fight, but it's something to consider. It's something to consider. I'll even leave this here just for now, on the off chance that the next time I fight the Storm King, I want to give this a shot, because I like the idea of Saurian Might. It's guaranteed damage that I wouldn't otherwise have, but with Saurian, Jess, Saurian Instinct here, maybe that health will help. Maybe it'll help. I'd like to give it a shot personally. And that leads me to where it's most useful. We're talking ability spam. And the only gameplay I recorded specifically for this video, besides testing other abilities, is, well, Overtaker Hero and his kunai build. I will link a lot of videos in the description below. I'm not going to flash them on screen. You have no idea how long that takes to edit, but I'll link all of my videos below on my ability videos that I've covered, like kunai, minigun, shockwave, etc., seismic smash, all of the videos that I've covered. And kunai is one of them where it is very, very spammable. You'll see that in the gameplay here, it's actually pretty good in the sense that it just kind of heals me so quick that it quickly became unnecessary, and that's actually kind of cool because in this loadout you're essentially getting all of your damage from kunai. It's not a serious build, it's not something you'd be using in the end game, but you could just use it to passively heal you. And I'm not using blast from the past, so 7.2% of a non-blast from the past build is like 30,000 health when I was eyeballing it. That might be wrong, but you can see the gameplay to check that yourself. So it's not a ton of health, but it's like I mentioned in the Storm King, where it's passive healing. That's nice to have that you might not otherwise have. Now I'm not sure if this build is perfect. I have Saurian Focus and Fuel for the Fallen. That's a lot of health regeneration or energy regeneration. The point was to just demonstrate that I am able to spam an ability while healing. And another cool thing is like phase shift. I got a little bit of gameplay of this, like I mentioned. It's cool, it heals you, and there are things like Dragon Slash. I use that a lot in Hit the Road. This is the loadout I use for that. I could very easily just, again, swap something out and put her in here, but as you can see, I use Coconuts on this build. Coconuts already kind of fills that niche. I really wouldn't trade it because Coconuts, in all of its amazingness and its healing properties, gives you 16% damage, which you almost never notice, but it's damage on top of absurd healing. I don't want them to nerf things ever, but Coconuts are quite good, and so I don't really see how she fits into that. But if you're using a Dragon Slash loadout, or you're somebody who doesn't have Coconuts, or you want all 3 of your hotbar slots open, you don't want any Coconuts down there, could be a good pick. Could be a good pick. Now, the loadout that I showed earlier is like my Parasaur Jess video. I'm going to link my Hit the Road loadouts video and my Ventures loadouts video because I cover both of those in a pretty in-depth fashion. But one thing I noted was that when I used my Shock Tower, it was great. It healed me, and that was nice to see. I even tested it twice just to make sure. But another thing I tested twice was my Teddy. Teddy doesn't seem to work. I don't know. People have already noted this. It's not news. It might work in the future. That's great. But as of release, it's not currently functioning, which is kind of a surprise. She worked for every other build in the game, and it's not that the Teddy is throwing down because, well, you throw that on the Shock Tower too. They're both charge fragment items, so I don't know what's up with that. Don't know what's up with that, but, you know, it's nice to have. And so I threw her my build here. That was kind of a tough decision because I used Saurian Focus for that energy regeneration. This is kind of what you get with the face cam. I can't really show this, but I didn't want to replace my energy regeneration there, but I'm not really sure that I had much of an option if I wanted to test this out. So, yeah, I might keep this. It's nice to get some passive healing, but when you can flip to a coconut, I mean, I don't know. That one's kind of a specific deal. But yeah, that just about wraps up Parasaur Jess. I don't really know what else to add. She's really, really cool. Any ability loadout that you use is going to be improved if you didn't have a better form of healing, and I think this could be a good addition to your build. Obviously, I didn't even begin to touch on all of the different abilities in this game, so comment below if you know any good loadouts that people should try. I'll try to thumb up any good ones that I see, and I implore you guys to do the same. Of course, I'll be linking my own ability videos down below if you guys are trying to, you know, modify any of those to work with the new hero. If you guys want to support the channel, feel free to use code Mista to check out. You can become a channel member here. You guys can see all the different rewards. They're a little bit less so as you won't be able to use the emotes in stream anymore, as I'm starting to stream more and more on Twitch. Top of the description will be right down there. You guys can check me out there if you guys want to join in on any streams. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day. And then